Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Eve the Medium. It's a pleasure to be back with you guys again today. And today I would love to speak to you about spiritual distractions. What are spiritual distractions? Spiritual distractions are distractions that occur while you're trying to pray. Anytime, it's almost the same thing that most people complain about when they're learning to meditate. And this basically happens when you are starting to sit down with your spirit guides and communicate with them and pray and build up that connection. Spiritual distractions can be anything from someone walking into the room where you're praying or connecting with your guides, even after you already established that connection, wanting to ask you a question, or the phone ringing. It can be anything from negative thoughts that start flooding your mind at the moment that you start building that connection. It could be feelings of negativity, feelings that something is happening, that you need to get up and call someone, or your child or a son or a daughter, that something's going on. And these things are not really in reality happening. These things are influenced by lower level entities which are trying to pull you from your path, which are trying to break that connection. One thing you have to understand, once you sit in prayer and you start connecting, because you'll feel it when you connect with your spirits, you'll feel that energy because you'll know that you're connected. And if for any reason you stand up or you answer your phone or start texting, that connection immediately is broken. So it's very important that when you sit down to connect with your spirit guides and start developing that connection, speaking to them and hearing them, that you do not allow these distractions to interfere. There are moments where you feel fear, worry, negative thoughts that you are not going to connect. These thoughts will flood your mind. Just words saying you're not going to connect with the spirits, you can't connect with the spirits, or you're not spiritual, you're not a medium, or you don't have enough spirituality. All these doubts. Because remember, once you set the intention that you want to develop your spirituality, that you want to connect with your guides, that you want to develop spiritually, that you have reached that knowledge that you are a spiritual being, and that you just want to find your purpose, all these small inconveniences and all these small interruptions will start happening just to throw you off. Do not let it upset you. Do not let it irritate you. Do not let it bother you, because it has happened to me, especially when I'm doing videos. I do get some interruptions too, and it's important not to allow it. You understand? Just relax, calm down, and just continue. If you have begun to pray, just take a brief pause, breathe, surround yourself with light, call on Archangel Michael to remove all those negative spirits that are trying to stop you from communicating and developing spiritually, and just relax and continue again, begin again, and ask your spirit guides to help you, to protect you from these lower level entities. Because like I said, these distractions will continue to happen until you are strong enough that you block everything out. Once you sit in that chair to pray, you block everything out. As you go on developing more and more spiritually, these distractions will stop, but they will continue in other ways, in other areas of your life, just to test your faith in a way. Your spirit guides will allow these things to happen sometimes. And the reason that they allow these things to happen, for those spirits to tempt us and to try and distract us, is to see how strong we are spiritually and how strong our faith is. That we don't just get up and say, you know what, forget it, I'm not going to do anything. Because those spirits will win when you do that. So it's very important that you maintain your strength and just always call upon your spirits. And even if sometimes you don't feel them, they are still there. They are just watching to see how strong you are spiritually and how strong your faith is. And once you prove this, these spirits will no longer attack you. they will no longer bother you when you sit down to pray. And like I said, during your spiritual path, they will also try to remove you from that peace, from that faith. When everything is going well, something will just happen to try and throw you off. Do not allow it. Just know that God and your spirits are in control, and this will pass. And then you'll say, look at that. I was worried, I was stressed, and everything turned out to be all right. So this is part of your spiritual life test on your journey. It's just to teach you to be strong in faith and not allow these lower level entities to distract you. What is the only thing that could just completely throw us off? And that is fear. They will fill you with fear, so you will just back off and say, I'm not going to do this anymore. And in doubt, they will place doubts in your mind, saying you're never going to connect with your spirits. You're never going to hear them. You're never going to feel them. But you have to understand one thing. They are telling you you're never going to hear your spirits. They are telling you you're never going to feel them. But you have to be smart enough to understand that if I can hear you, lower level entities, if I can feel you, then I can hear my spirits and I can feel them also. I choose not to hear you and to listen to my spiritual guides. And this is one thing that a subscriber recently wrote about. And I will be doing this video in Spanish also, because she wrote about that every time she's praying, someone interrupts her. And like I said, I've been through that experience, and I know what it feels like. It can be very irritating when you're in that moment, which I call alignment, when you're in that moment that you're feeling that peace, that love, that connection, and you're hearing your spirits. And then all of a sudden somebody comes and interrupts you. It can be very upsetting. But if you allow it, then you completely lose the connection, because when you feel yourself with those emotions of anger and irritation, then you're pushing your spirits away, because you're vibrating at a low vibration. And you have to remember that your spirits are vibrating at a high vibration. And if you're angry and you're upset, you will completely disconnect. Aside of that, all those spirits are creating all those distractions. You also are adding to it by getting upset at what is happening. Do not allow these things to distract you, and do not allow anything to distract you from your spiritual path. This is the message that I have for you today, because this is something very important that you must learn as you go growing spiritually, because these are things that will happen when you are in meditation. Your mind will just start grasping to every negative thought, every worry, every financial problem that you have, because you're not used to sitting down quietly and being in that silence. Both things go hand in hand, meditation and prayer. Prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening to God and your spirit guides. It's very important that after you meditate, just close your eyes and just relax. And one thing I can tell you, I will be doing a video on meditation, because meditation can be very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Like I said, nothing has to be complicated. Sometimes we complicate ourselves. So it's very important that you get used to or practice meditating at least 15 or 20 minutes per day, just sitting there and just closing your eyes and breathing. Not doing anything in particular, just relaxing. The brain picks up very easily on habits. So once you start doing it every day at the same time, immediately, once you sit in that same chair at the same time, you'll go into that tranquil mode, into that stillness. Because I practiced this and I've done it, and I couldn't sit in that chair, because every time I would sit in that chair, everything would just calm down. My heartbeat would lower, my breathing, everything. Like I said, your mind picks up on habit. And after you do a certain thing for a certain amount of time, your brain automatically goes on that mode once you set in that place. It's like when you go into a place and you feel fear, because the brain knows it already. So automatically you go into that fear mode. So everything is just about practice and training your mind, training yourself to block everything out. When you're going to sit in prayer and to communicate with the guides, let everybody know. Let everybody know. And if somebody walks in, just know that they are being influenced by one of these lower level entities. Okay? That is not that they are just trying to be rude and just let it pass. It is very uncomfortable when you're connected and that detachment happens, that you lose that connection or whatever they were telling you at the moment. It is very, very uncomfortable, but your spirits understand that this is also part of your spiritual growth. I hope this video helps you on your spiritual journey and brings you knowledge in regards to your spiritual journey and the distractions that can happen. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and share. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Love and light. God bless you.